Yeah. Okay. So I know, but but how come? How come I was the only one on the planet that did not see the Northern Lights? Like, why? Why the only one? Why not me? Why? Sleep too much. Okay. All right. Oh, hey. Welcome to Season 5, Episode 11 of Niagara 411 Live with Lee Sterry. We are fueled by Gales Gas Bars. We are supported by Sandra's Home Health Care Services. Also, Verge Insurance Group, as well as Ace Alignment and Equal Wellness Services, powered by WeeStream. Kevin Jack, the fellow following us around with the camera here today. We are at the lovely Fiddler's Poorhouse, 149 St. Paul Street in St. Catharines. These, ladies and gentlemen, are your specials that you can enjoy today. We are live. It is lunchtime. Come on in and join us, have a snack, and we'll get this shindig underway. Some developments economically in the Niagara region over this past week. We'll touch on those. We have a lady coming in to talk about some events that are coming up over the next little while in Niagara. Her first time on the program. Brittany Love is her name. She's going to be joining us. Township 9 Designs, I think, is her business. She's going to be joining us. And we'll be talking about some other things that we touched on a couple of weeks ago. There have been some resolutions to a couple of stories that have been left hanging, but eventually things get resolved, and a couple of stories have been tied up with a nice little bow, and we'll take off the bow and open the box and bring that out for you. So in about 30 seconds, we'll get this underway. Bye. And here we are. That, ladies and gentlemen, is our luxurious set here at Fiddler's Poorhouse. Lots of places for you to come in and have a seat and enjoy lunch or a midday beverage and relax, have a meeting, whatever it is you want to do, and come on in. We're here for about the next roughly 90 minutes or so, and we are live, as the name of the program obviously indicates, Niagara 411 Live with Lee Sterry. And I just want to do this so you can do it along with us. Watching Niagara 411 right now. Hi, Nick, by the way. Nick is the owner, operator, driving force behind Niagara 411. There you go, 141,000 followers. This show is getting a lot of traction. Kevin and I were talking about some of the numbers that were popping up on Facebook of some of the interviews that we did over the last couple of weeks. And see, there's the live show right there. So what I'm going to do is what we're asking you to do is I've got Niagara 411's Facebook page up. I'm going to do a refresh. All right, just do a reload there. Now my computer isn't the fastest in the world, but then we've got this, and then you go down here and you go share. That's kind of cool. Thank you. And then you do this, say something. No, I don't care about saying anything. Just share now. And boom. Bob's your uncle, as they say. Whoever Bob is and whoever your uncle is, I don't know, but that's the expression. So, there we go. Welcome to the program, by the way. Kevin.
Yeah, Lee, I'm just scrolling through. You touched on it there, the impact of what we do here. I mean,
yeah.
Here's the interview that we did with Audrey Wall, the foot nurse. 12,000 views.
And that was 2 weeks ago.
Yeah, 406 speed limits, 10,000 views. Yeah. Talked with Mendelt from Momentum Choir.
Yes.
13,000 views.
Our Bare Naked Ladies piece.
Yeah, I mean, there we are talking with David Green about the upcoming Garden City
Comedy Festival.
13,000.
Those are, for anybody that knows anything about social media, by the way, friends and folks and neighbors and friends, those are pretty good those are pretty good, solid numbers. And we like that for two reasons. Number one, we can say to our sponsors, Gales, Sandra's Home Healthcare, Virgin Insurance Group, Ace Alignment, and Equal Wellness Services, that, hey, you're getting great value for your hard-earned dollar when you support the program with your purse or your wallet. And number two, there is an impact being had in Niagara, which was actually the point of this whole thing to begin with, because of there being so many sources of information from all over the world about all numbers of things. And in Niagara, there are things to read and scroll through and all the rest of it. But this program, our goal was to keep it Niagara focused as much as we possibly could, and maybe have an impact to keep people connected in some way, shape, or form, because it is so hard to connect these days. And again, we don't have a lot. Kevin, go ahead. What
I'm just going to throw an emphasis on what we got right there at the top of the screen, which is the Zoom link.
I was going there,
I think you were going there. Okay, well, I'll let you go there.
No, that's fine. Is the fact that, especially on days like today, when we don't have a really heavy lineup of planned guests, we like to emphasize the fact that it is an open line show. It is an open line program, and it is live, and you can participate right now. All you need is a working smartphone or a working laptop or whatever to click on our Zoom link. If you're watching the feed right now, click on the Zoom link that's right there on the screen that you can see right now, and that link will take you into a Zoom room waiting room. Kevin's pointer finger is doing its pointing right there. So, and once you're in the green room waiting room, Kevin knows you're there, and be able to make sure that you're connected properly and all the little technological ducks are in a row, and then we'll have a chat. Now, the other thing is you can comment on anything we're talking about, or you can bring up something brand new. You have something you want to promote, something you're passionate about, something you want to talk about. It doesn't cost you anything if you want to talk about, hey, we got a business over here in Waynfleet that we want people to know about. Come and tell us about it. Because if we don't know you're there, we can't come get you. You can find us, though. All right? And that's okay. That's totally cool. There are little or no restrictions. It just be nice. That's about it. The big announcement that we wanted to start with, though, as well, which had some reactions we were a little strange trying to figure out, but a massive capital investment being made in the Port Colborne area, which means in Niagara in general. Honda Canada announced it's chosen Port Colborne to house an electric vehicle supply chain plant as part of its $15 billion investment in Canada. Official announcement set for tomorrow, which was yesterday now. But the whole family showed up for this. Government of Canada, Province of Ontario, Niagara Region, City of Port Colborne, St. Lawrence Seaway Management, a bunch of other private partners came together. So basically what it boils down to is just a little bit over $1.5 billion invested in the lithium-ion battery supply chain plant in Port Colborne. A little bit better than $1.5 billion going to be invested into our community, into the Niagara region. So I think that's absolutely phenomenal for Port Colborne. So way to go and kudos. But one thing that was a little bit disturbing was the fact that there were a lot of negative comments. There was negative feedback in the comments section of this announcement. And I get the fact that politicians and government announcements are not really fuel for confidence in the public psyche. I get it. However, on the surface, let's expect the good things to happen until such time happens that perhaps it's proven that maybe it wasn't all it's cracked up to be. I still think it's a great deal. I still think it's a great announcement. It'll be a boon to that community. in the southern portion of the Niagara Peninsula, and I don't see anything bad coming out of it. How many people will they employ? Good to see investment. Thank you. Awesome for Niagara. Great. And there it is. Richard says, imagine all these negative comments about a great, exciting opportunity. Come on, people of Port Colborne, you should be happy to have this facility. I agree with you, Richard. I agree with you. Is everything about any announcement going to be 100% positive? Probably not. But it's $1.5 billion, people, fueling more development in our area. I mean, let's run with it. If the cynics end up being proven right, whatever. But I think it was still a hell of a piece of good news. And in these days, when it's getting a little bit harder to find things you can afford and places to live and places to go that your family enjoys and can have fun with and afford, like I said, the afford thing is the big deal. An infusion of capital like that has got to be good news on the surface at the very least.
Lee, want to share something here that is just developing right now on Niagara 411 and just goes to show what 411 is really good at.
Okay.
And you see this story here.
So this is brand new. We haven't had a chance to talk about this.
Yeah, so here, I mean, just 13 minutes ago, Nick posts this, okay? And this will get a lot of people a little worried, especially if they have somebody at the GNGH.
The Greater Niagara General Hospital on Portage Road, third floor. Reports of smoke in the building, fire crews on the scene investigating.
Okay, that gets a little uneasy, right?
Well, yeah.
Look at the comments. Love this about 411.
Crews found a light haze of smoke on the third floor. They found the source and have it isolated.
Okay, small electrical fire.
Yeah.
And then
bed has been isolated and the fire alarm system has been cleared.
Right, so small fire and electrical bed, and then look at Cheryl.
A bed shorted out and started the fire. Oh my gosh. My friend is in the bed across from it. Now that's connecting Niagarans to Niagara.
Angie says, my mom? No, the other side. So Cheryl and Angie maybe met at the hospital.
Isn't that something?
But that's what I love about 411, right?
It truly is, because the old expression, as you know, is it's a small world. Well, I guess our goal, and Niagara 411's goal, is to make it smaller so that we can all feel that we're not lost in the shuffle, that we can actually connect with one another in a meaningful way, and that's a great byproduct of this technology and the stuff that Nick and you as the supporters and participants of Niagara 411 do. And it's our role to happily pass these connectivity things on to you. So it's there he is, Charlie. That's Charlie, ladies and gentlemen. Charlie is a tortoise, but the owners call Charlie a sulcata, Sulcata. Now, our in-depth research team has indicated the fact that a sulcata is a type of tortoise. Charlie weighs about 50 pounds. Now, he's missing from a backyard. Crystal says, we're devastated to have come home and realized that Charlie is not here anymore. He's shuffled off somewhere. Either under his own steam. Obviously, you wouldn't say the turtle ran away. So that's why I use the term shuffle, because I don't think a tortoise has ever run away. Or, on a more serious note, someone may have snuck in and taken Charlie.
Well, you think somebody stole a tortoise?
Somebody could steal a tortoise. A lot of people like exotic pets. This is about as exotic a pet as you get.
You can have these as pets? What do they do?
They sit there, and every now and then they move. And you know they call it turtling when you sort of go into because when they're scared, their protective mechanism is to tuck their legs on. The head goes into the shell, and you got a rock, basically. You have a living, breathing pet rock. So you pick it up, put it in your truck, and drive away.
Well, what, do you put it in the front seat? Like, how do you...
You put it anywhere.
Put it in the trunk?
He'd go anywhere.
Just not quickly.
Exactly.
And how big would the hole in the fence have to be for this guy to make an escape? And what's he escaping from? Like,
well,
how bad of a life is Crystal's?
but I mean, Crystal is the injured party here, either by accident or by design.
See if there's anything.
And you would think that, I mean, obvious A, that Charlie did not jump the fence. B, there might have been a hole in a fence or something, but wouldn't Crystal have been aware? Like wouldn't the owners have been aware of the fact that there was a way out?
There you go. Tom asked the question, how does a 50-pound tortoise escape a backyard?
Well, I don't think it does. But then
Crystal says it happened.
But it wouldn't be, don't you think it wouldn't be a crime of opportunity? Because you're not just walking by somebody's backyard and see a tortoise.
Well, they're quick when they decide to go for it.
Okay. But go for what?
Oh, another guy's saying that this has to be planned.
Nathaniel said what I said. Obviously, he didn't jump the fence. Sorry, Nathaniel, I hadn't read your comment when I said that. I wasn't stealing your
and look at this, too. Most tortoise species can live 80 to 150 years. So,
yeah.
I mean, when you bring Charlie home, this is a lifetime commitment.
Hey, man, if I walked that slow and was as healthy an eater probably as Charlie is, I'd live that long probably as well. But that's not going to happen. I hope he's found safe too. I mean, these are pretty docile, friendly creatures. I wouldn't exactly call them cuddly, but they're friendly enough. There's.
I'm fast and furious. God.
I hope you find. Yeah, we all hope you find Charlie. Crystal, that's horrible to lose your pet because that's a special pet.
Yeah.
I mean, that's a special animal, really. 50 pounds. That's. Well, look at the size. Look at the size of Charlie compared to the watering can in the background. Now, I know the perspective of the picture is going to make him look a little bigger, maybe than reality would, but still, compared to that watering can, he's a good-sized turtle.
Well, I mean, Crystal's responding, saying he sometimes burrows down in the mud to keep cool. I didn't know that.
If left outside a long time, he could...
Oh, sorry.
No, that's okay.
Yeah.
He could very well do that. But we haven't found any holes so far. So there's no obvious escape route that Charlie used.
Well, here we go. Sulcatas, on average, can walk about 5 miles.
Okay, well, at least we have a perimeter now. Oh, I hope nothing bad has happened to him. Like, you would hate to think that there's a tortoise trafficking ring in Niagara. Yeah. The fact that people are around stealing tortoises and reselling them on the black market.
Yeah, is there a market for this?
There probably is.
Check Marketplace.
Like all things, when you look at it, I mean, people have snakes and lizards and Komodo dragons and all kinds of things as pets. And tortoises, obviously. Or is it tortoisei? I don't know.
I don't know.
But speaking of animals, I was a little surprised to see the announcement over the last week or so that Marineland, after originally putting out the information that it would not be opening this year, it was going to be closing down permanently, which I know met with quite a lot of applause around the region and elsewhere. There was an announcement that it will indeed be opening this year. No bears, no rides, no orca whales. Orcas, you can't have them in Canada anymore, or in captivity, I think, maybe at all in the world. But see, there's a beluga whale right there. They are going to be having, what do they call it? The pond. They call it a rec pond or fun pond, or but I don't know what they call it. But there are still going to be beluga whales on site. No restaurant. Not much of anything.
Not much of anything, no.
Really. And the prices are, you still have to pay to get in, but not what you used to have to pay like $48-50 to go into Marine.
Okay, but I haven't seen this, Lee, reported as they prepare for redevelopment under new ownership.
Yes, yeah. We're offering discounted tickets, so
I didn't read that as a wrinkle to the whole thing, that there is new ownership and they are planning redevelopment. I just thought it was still in the Holler's estate, or it belongs to his wife or the family members.
Well, I think, it does at the moment. It does at the moment.
Well, it says right here, we prepare for redevelopment under new ownership.
Yeah.
Is that ownership been secured, or are they just hoping?
I don't know. But it's a little surprising to me. And it's a story that everybody in Niagara will be watching, because it's a bit of a, as I said, it's a bit of a switcheroo from what we thought was going to be going on. Anyway, so Kevin, speaking of switcheroos, one of the other things that we wanted to touch on was a story that appeared in Niagara 411, and it's something that you in particular were actually driving this bus a number of years ago when you worked at a local radio station. It was sort of a crusade of yours to have safe transactions between social media contacts, i.e. somebody buys something from somebody on Marketplace, for example, or Kijiji, or whatever, and these people meet somewhere to make this deal, to make this exchange, money for something for money, and there were a lot of people that suffered calamities as a result of that, nefarious people. Remember the gentleman that was killed, that was murdered in Hamilton, when two guys came to buy his truck.
Yeah, Timothy Bosma.
Timothy Bosma, yes. So, and that was one of the things, Kevin, was it not, that sort of drove this initiative to try to make for safe transactions in a situation like that? That was one of the big things.
And I remember when I was on the air, reading about these safe transaction zones that were installed in parking lots of police stations, I think in Florida. Yeah. And I thought, you know what, this is a really good idea.
Yeah, and kudos to you for driving that bus, using the metaphor once again.
Yeah, and actually was able to run it up the flagpole all the way to the NRPS board, and then eventually they did install, not eventually, actually fairly quickly, they installed one at the Welland detachment.
Yes.
Now, I don't know if any more are out there, but a lot of people suggest in this story, Lee, that you go conduct these transactions in a parking lot of a police station, because scammers will be deterred. And if they do try and scam you, hey, what better place? You know, there are security cameras everywhere, and the cops are right there. But get to this story. It's disturbing.
And the reason that we're talking about this is the story that you see on your screen right now, is that a woman was selling an iPhone, and she met this person to make the transaction final at a Tim Hortons in Welland. This person grabbed the phone and bolted, took off. Young Caucasian male, 17 to 23 years old, dirty blonde, wavy-ish hair, not styled. Obviously, she's a critic. Wearing jeans and a black hoodie, ran away on foot with her phone. Took place between 11 and 11:15 and 11:30 in the morning. If anybody around the area saw him, please let us know. Tim Hortons has security cameras, but not at that particular with that particular view in mind. And that was one occasion right there where you think you meet at a Tim Hortons. My goodness, what could be more unchallenging than that? Well, here you go. It happens. Somebody just bolts with the phone, and probably sold it for dope, or who knows? Probably doesn't need a phone. Probably already has a phone. But this brought up this conversation because there are more and more and more of these transactions that happen on Marketplace. My wife has bought quite a number of things through Marketplace, and luckily we have had no problems as a result of that. But it only takes once, and luckily this lady wasn't harmed. She was robbed, but she wasn't harmed, which is a positive. And it got us talking once again about other scams. And this one hit really close to home for Kevin. I want him to tell the story in a minute. But again, if you were in this location when this happened, if you have any idea who this joker is that scammed this lady and stole her phone, and let's face it, it's got to be, even though she wasn't physically injured, it has to be traumatizing. You've got to, your stress level would be off the charts when something like that happens. And the more of these things that do happen, one of the byproducts of it, which I find is very sad, is we have less and less and less faith and trust in our fellow human being. You don't trust anybody, and that's a nasty place to have to live, in that world of mistrust.
Yeah, Lee, I want to remind people that it also works the other way. If you're the person that's going to buy something, in this case, she had the iPhone and was allegedly meeting somebody who was going to pay her.
Right.
It works the other way. If you're meeting somebody to buy something, especially if it's very expensive, they know you have, let's say, $1,000 in cash on you.
Even less than that, $100, $200, anything.
Absolutely. So if you're on the other side and you're thinking, well, I'm safe because I'm the buyer, absolutely not. That person knows that you're coming with $100, $500, whatever it is.
Or at least they suspect that you are, because they don't figure that you're going to scam them.
So always meet. Here would be my suggestion. I mean, if you're not going to go to the police station, I would encourage people to always meet indoors in a public place.
Yes.
Like, don't meet somebody in the parking lot of the Tim Hortons.
Right.
Meet them in the Tim Hortons.
Yeah.
And not saying that in this case that would have changed anything. Maybe there would have been some security footage. Maybe you never catch up with the guy.
No.
But I would think that a lot of the scammers would probably be turned off by that.
One would think so. You never know. I mean, he still could have bolted, but at least somebody else would have witnessed what happened. So that's a good point too. If you're showing up either with the goods or with the cash, either way, you could be in trouble if you're not properly careful. Now, Kevin, this segues into a story again that we want to bring to people's attention, because the as we call them, the fraud squad, the people in not just the OPP but the locals and everywhere, they deal with this all of the time, and there is a lot of fraud, more than ever before, because of the various kind of technologies and social media that is out there. But Kevin has personal knowledge of a story that took place this past week or so.
I'll share this with you.
Tell us the story, please.
It was in the last week, and it's somebody very close to our family. And I got this story firsthand.
Yeah.
And he's in his 70s, but, he has all of his acumen. He's very lucid. He knows what's going on. And he found an email in his inbox, and then he opened the attachment, which you probably shouldn't do. And in the attachment, it told him that something to do with his Norton antivirus or McAfee or something like that.
One of his computer's security systems programs.
And give this 800 number a call. So he gives the 800 number a call, and of course, and I talked to him, and I said, okay, the guy who was talking to, his name's Samir. Okay, neither here nor there, but I said, was it really loud in the background? He said, yeah, it was extremely loud in the background. I go, okay, well, that's a red flag right there, because,
it's a call center.
We all know people that work at Cytel or work for CTFS, Canadian Tire Financial, and that's not their work environment.
No.
But over in another country, this is exactly how they operate.
Yep.
It got to the point where he gave them permission to take over his computer, so they were operating his computer remotely, and then I'll tell you what happened, and then I'll tell you how they did it. But they actually said, hey, you know what? It turns out that it's our error on the McAfee Norton side.
Yeah.
And in fact, we have to give you a $500 refund.
Yeah, we're calling you to give you money back.
Right, we're giving you money back. So here's $500.
Right.
So, okay, yep, there we go. We're in your bank. They actually had him log into his bank account while they were remotely controlling the computer. This is all terrible, terrible, terrible. Then, instead of putting $500 into the bank, they made it look as though he had made an error and by mistake put $5,000 in.
Yeah, so they're saying that he deposited 10 times more money than he
was supposed to. Right, you were only supposed to get $500. Now you have $5,000. Yeah. So, hey, you know what? You owe us $4,500.
No, we owe you.
Well, no, the other way around. The person I know now owes Norton McAfee $4,500 because by accident they put $5,000 into the account when he was only supposed to get $500.
All right,
so now we have an outstanding balance, $4,500. Okay, how would you like us to get you that $4,500? Well, sir, if you walk over to your local Shoppers Drug Mart, we would like that in Apple gift cards. Okay, another red flag. But believe it or not, this person went to Shoppers Drug Mart, had all of the available Apple gift cards that they had in the store.
So he was ready to buy these.
Was walking up to the cash and
with the card.
Asked to buy $4,500 in Apple gift cards.
Wow.
And thank goodness the one cashier asked if there's a limit on these, turned to another cashier and said, hey, and she said, well, how much is he looking to buy? And she said, he said $4,500, to which she immediately responded, sir, you're being scammed. He was taken aback. What do you mean I'm being scammed? I go, the person's probably listening right now, right? So, are you still on the phone with this person? Yeah, absolutely. I'm still on an active phone call in my back pocket.
Wow.
So thank you. And I think he went back to the Shoppers to thank the lady and tell the manager that, hey, your training is working.
Yeah.
Right? That's the first thing that I thought when it was brought to my attention.
So, I mean, they're blowing off a $4,500 sale.
I said to my wife, she brought it to my attention, and I said, oh, my gosh, did Shoppers stop him? And she said, yes, they did. I said, oh, thank goodness, because most of the cashiers receive this training and say, hey, if somebody's buying $4,000 worth of Apple gift cards, that's a red flag right there. So we didn't. And here's how the scam worked. They actually weren't that sophisticated because they were controlling his computer, had access to his bank account. So what they did is they transferred $5,000 from his savings account into his checking account. So it looked legit. If you called the bank and said, yeah, was there a $5,000 deposit into my checking account? They would confirm, absolutely there was. But it was just transferred from savings.
From his one account to another.
So that's why he believed that $5,000 had been deposited into his account.
But he had given them control of his computer so they could do anything they wanted to do.
So we had to wipe the computer, factory reset the computer because he had installed some software on there to give them remote access to it. Now, it was a scary 24, 48 hours trying to make sure that all the loose ends were figured out. What
did this Samir dude do when they realized that they were found out?
Started really harassing him. Like, I saw the call logs, and, the next morning called him 8 times in a half-hour span, then waited 2 hours, text messaged him, called him another 6 or 7 times. In the messaging back and forth, indicated to him, don't tell anybody that you're talking to me, like, keep this a secret.
Oh, yeah.
Right? Lots of red flags. And then even via text, I saw some of the texts where he was threatening him. Like, hey, something bad's going to happen to you if you don't get me this $4,500. So, man, it's crazy because this is somebody that I know, somebody that isn't necessarily the most tech savvy in the world, but I'd say
not feeble or not.
Absolutely not. Absolutely not. Has a good head on his shoulders and got to the point that he was at Shoppers about to buy $4,500 worth of gift cards.
Like that close.
That close.
Wow. And the problem, they say the problem, one of the problems with these things is the fact that the people that are the victims of these scams feel embarrassed and stupid and all these other things so a lot of times these things go unreported and the scam artists have their way. Luckily in this case, as you said, the training of the clerks paid off and they didn't do the transaction and sort of raise flags for everybody. But after the fact, it's hard to get people to come forward sometimes.
It is, and that for reference sake, it was the Shoppers Drug Mart in Welland on South Pelham.
All right. Well,
so there's one right there. So if anybody knows, yeah, absolutely.
Kudos to you people there for picking up on this and nipping it in, well, almost nipping it in the bud. But holy cow! It reminds me. It was a number of years ago. My mother-in-law, before she passed away, received one of these scam calls, and it was a fellow telling her that she had won a new car. She had won and these scams are still going on as well. Luxury goods that people are winning for whatever reason. But she apparently had won a high-end Mercedes automobile. And now she was older at the time, but she's very smart. She strung these guys along. They wanted her to come to Toronto with some money for the taxes and stuff like that. And she said, "Well, I'll pay taxes and whatnot, but I want my car first." Well, that's not how we do things. Well, she said that's how I do things. So,
good for her.
I would like to see my car. When can you get it here? Well, this went on. I was in the kitchen. My wife and I were visiting, and after a while, I was starting to get worried because she was stringing these guys along. She was making fools of them, is what she was doing, because she knew damn well she hadn't won a new car. But she wanted to see the car. Bring me the car.
Yeah, bring me the car.
Then we'll do the deal. And finally I got on the phone. Now, when I got on the phone and said, this is quite enough. We've had enough. You've had your fun. We've had our fun. We're done. Well, the language he used was like if a junkyard dog could talk. Called me every name in the book that you can imagine, and frankly to the point where I was a little bit concerned because he was so angry that I thought they were going to show up at the door with something other than a car, But you have to be.
Believe it or not, I mean, that fear resonated with the person I know as well. Like, they were like, "Oh my gosh, is Samir going to show up?" To which we had to reassure him, Samir's on the other side of the world.
Yeah.
Samir doesn't know where you live.
No.
All Samir knows is a phone number.
Even if they do know where you live, it's going to be hard to get there.
Yeah, it's going to be not worth their time. Not worth their time to get there.
But Kevin, that is scary when a person experienced in the world and not suffering from some sort of mental condition or whatever is that close to spending $4,500.
Yeah, it was crazy. I mean, afterwards I went through it and said, "Listen, it's not your fault. Remember, whenever it comes to scams, is that people wouldn't do it if it didn't work."
No.
Right? So people are falling victim to this all the time. There's nothing to be embarrassed about. The one thing you should do is empower yourself and educate yourself on some of the red flags.
And I mean, the thing to really drive home to your loved ones or your friends and family is people that are doing business or government agencies. Nobody is ever going to ask you for any kind of payment that's legitimate by buying a gift card. I thought everybody was pretty much aware of that these days, but apparently not everybody. And I mean, why can't I just send you $4,500?
Yeah, there's. You know what, Lee? And I went through them and I said, "Look, here's about 10 red flags, and any one of these on their own wouldn't be enough for me to conclude that you're being scammed.
No.
But all of them piled together, right? Where the email originates from, the 800 number, Samir, the fact that he's texting you, that they over deposited, that he wanted an Apple gift cards. There's don't tell anybody. All of those.
All the
together,
signs are there,
right? All of them are there, but each one on its own, and that's why I say kudos to the shoppers people, because there would be legitimate reasons to buy $4,000 in Apple gift cards.
There's a reason.
They're just very rare.
There's a reason why the technological people call it phishing, spelled differently, but it's the same deal. Once you cast the line and you get a nibble, then it kicks in to action. They give the rod a tug, and now they're just reeling you in. And that's why they call it phishing, because that's really exactly what it is. Time to thank our sponsors of the program, our premier sponsor, our headline sponsor, fueled this program now for many seasons, and we appreciate that greatly, is Gales Gas Bars Limited. And they have been in business a very, very long time here in Niagara, fueling Niagara for well over 50 years at this point, and hopefully for the next 50 or more. They have 11 service stations, full serve and self-serve, 4 convenience stores, wholesale fuel delivery, home heating fuel delivery, and oil lubricant delivery. They're the one-stop shop for any and all petroleum needs here in Niagara. And a feather in the cap of its CEO, Jessica Friesen, this week. She featured in the May-June edition of an industry magazine called Convenience, and it's circulated to those people that are members of their association that own and operate convenience stores. As I just mentioned, Gales does operate the convenience stores called Bob's Fast and Fresh, and Jessica featured this week. I think we did have a link to it, Kevin. I'm not sure whether...
Yeah, I don't know that it went through.
I forwarded it to you, but unfortunately I might not have been able to.
Yeah, it doesn't seem like it went through. So.
It didn't go through?
No, sorry about that.
Oh, that's a shame. But anyway, we'll find it and we'll pop it up there even next time we do a show, because it's the May-June edition. So we'll make our own technology work. But I wanted to offer a tip of the bow chapeau to Jessica Friesen for making a mark in that wide world of convenience stores. You know how many of them are around. Also, Sandra's Home Healthcare, a relatively new sponsor with the program, and they do home healthcare with a bit of a twist. It's sometimes, if necessary, 24/7. They go from hospital care to home care. As a matter of fact, their office, their place of business, is actually located in the St. Catharines location of Niagara Health Services on 4th Avenue. And the medication management, they specialize in medical assistance and rehabilitation, as I said, around the clock if necessary. One of the cool things that I learned while chatting with Sandra, and there really is a Sandra, by the way, is the fact that they try to match their home care workers to the client, to the person that they're supposed to be looking after. In other words, it's not just the PSW of the moment that stops in to spend an hour and and goes. Not that there's anything wrong with that. I mean, they provide a service, but in this case, they really try to take time to match the care worker to the client. And Sandra's Home Healthcare joined the program, as I mentioned, about a month ago, and we're just pleased as punch that she's there. Verge Insurance Group, for all of your insurance needs, by all means, another Niagara born, bred, and maintained industry. And that's important to us here on this program. And it's important that you've got people that are local, that you can talk to. You can go into their office over on Ontario Street if you need to and knock on the door. They're right there. They're not 1,000 miles away somewhere. They're right there. Auto, home, business, life, whatever your insurance needs might be. Verge Insurance Brokers, thanks for still supporting this program for almost as many seasons as Gales has been with us. Verge joined us at about the same time. Ace Alignment, also thank you very much. Ace Alignment of St. Catharines, and of course, as you might guess from the name, alignment would have been where the business started. But now, for all of your auto needs, be it brakes, suspension, you can also get a motor vehicle inspection done there if that's something that you need to get done. Front end repairs, as simple as oil changes. They service all makes and models of trucks and cars and SUVs and whatever on North Street in St. Catharines, right downtown, just a spit from here, over on North Street, behind the Niagara Regional Police Services building on Welland Avenue at Geneva. So just right in behind there. And one of our newest sponsor, one of our newest, along with Sandra's, is Audrey the Foot Nurse, is how she has been known in this area for, oh gosh, many years. Is now the proud proprietor of Equal Wellness Services in their brand new location at 365 Vine Street between Scott and Carleton in St. Catharines. Expert and knowledgeable foot care, regardless of the situation. Even, as we know, there are a lot of folks that are afflicted with diabetes, and there's special foot care requirements often for people in that situation. She can provide that as well as other services at Equal Wellness Services. All right, so I want to thank Audrey the Foot Nurse for also coming on board sponsor our program. Our one guest for the show today is Brittany Love, and she is the owner of Township 9 Designs. And there are a number of things that Brittany and Township 9 is involved with. And I'm not going to tell you about them. She is. Hi, Brittany. How are you?
Hi. Thank you. I'm good. Thank you for having me.
Yeah, nice smile. Boy, you got a lot of teeth going on there. That's
I'm
nice.
so excited to be here.
Are you? Well, we're excited to have you.
Thank you.
Yeah. So, first of all, before we talk about the events and things that are coming up, because there are quite a few, I think, that are associated with you, if I'm correct. But tell us about what Township 9 Designs is. What is that?
Yeah.
Who are you? What do you do?
So, Township 9 Designs. Well, I am born and raised in Feulled, and I used to love the local library in Feulled. And so when I was looking through the local history section, I found that Feulled, before it was ever named that, was actually the 9th township along the canal. So I always wanted to have a band. You know, when you're young, you're like, that's going to be my band name.
Yeah, okay.
I never really did have my own band, but I decided to name it my personal business. And here we are 3 years later. I started as a macrame artist. Yeah. I still am a macrame artist, but now I host vendor fairs and all events all over the Niagara region.
Okay. I did not... We got a history lesson from you today.
Not a lot of people know that, but like thoroughbred Feulled. Cool. That's me, man. So
you're not only an artist, you're a craft person, but predominantly you are an event organizer. Is that right?
Yeah. That took off in the last couple of years. Getting the community together, getting people off of Amazon, getting us knowing our local makers and where they are, how they can serve you with their products and services. I have a lot of vendors on my team so far.
That's really neat. Well, now that we know why we're here, tell us about what's going on. What is coming up that you'd like people to know about?
So we have an event almost every month this summer. There's even some like twice a month. I have a swap and shop coming up on June 1st. It's encouraging people to kind of come and exchange items. So you can bring up to 10 items to swap for free. It's a free event. You just register online at eventbrite.ca, the swap and shop with Harmony Niagara.
Okay.
In June and July, I have vendor fairs happening on Glendale Avenue.
Can I stop you there for a sec?
Sure.
I want to back up to the swap and shop.
Yeah.
Maybe you can help me out, because I was doing a little bit of research, reading a little bit. Now, and it says when you register, then you tell them where it is? How does that work?
It's on a private farm. It's on a private farm that they kind of wanted to keep the I guess, privacy of the people who live there. So when you register and give your email, then you get the address for that one.
But then you can take your stuff and set it up, or like how does that work?
So that one is kind of just an event for people to come, and you bring 10 things and you just swap it in the tent. It's kind of like a barter trade system. There will be vendors selling their own items.
Okay.
But the public, like anybody who has any vintage things, and we're not even just talking clothing. It can be home decor. It can be, a comforter. Anything that you'd like to swap out to get something new to you. So if you come with 10 items, you can leave with 10 items.
Gotcha. All right. Thanks for explaining that, because I was a little confused as to how the machinations of that.
I tried to make it an open event. I do want to make sure that I'm honoring the people that I'm working with. My events in June and July, they're just straight up, come on over on Glendale Avenue, 527 Glendale. But yeah, when you register for the swap and shop, please, we've already done one, and it was a huge success.
Okay.
Please don't be afraid of that extra step of registering. It will be worth it. Just bring the 10 items and
All right, now the stuff and things on Glendale, that's just a show up. Is that also free admission?
That's free. If you're a vendor, you would have to pay for a space, but we usually get around 150 to 300 people per day. I'd run it on the Saturday and the Sunday.
Okay.
So.
And what kind of is it mainly crafts? What kind of things do we see there?
I have so many different vendors, not just makers, but there's artists, there's photographers, there's farms, the local farms. As you can see right now, actually at the Sterry. I'm the administrator for the Sterry farm.
Okay.
So I like to, anybody that I see that has a talent, I love to showcase them at the event. So it's not just, crochet or other things that you see at local. It's artists and authors and just moms starting their things too. Like if they want to try out a smaller scale, I usually help them out and have them come out. So yeah.
Neat.
Lots of stuff, lots of variety of things. And food trucks, it's pet friendly. So
wow, you got it all.
We encourage, and free lemonade in June. I'm giving away free lemonade.
You got me with free. You get you put free down, people line up. It doesn't matter what it is. Just put the word free down. Free something.
I always make sure to have a door prize as well. So it's something from every vendor, and you get an entry for showing up. So free entry for showing up too. Okay,
so while we have you, we might as well run through the gamut of what's going on. What else? So we've got the Swap and Shop. We've got the what do we call
Stuff
them?
And things.
Stuff and What else?
So in August, I'm in the works of having a drum festival put together. It's a 3-day event.
Okay.
It's called the Forest Jam Drum Festival, and that will be on my property in Glendale as well. So that's.
Are you a drummer?
A drum festival. So I am in a band.
Okay.
I'm in a few bands actually. And
you did. You made it into that band.
You made it into that band after all.
It's not Township 9, but yes.
Okay. All right.
We're actually performing this Saturday at the post party at Hernders Estates Winery, put on by Pump Marketing. Yeah, I'm trying to really get everybody connected and networking. So.
All right. So you have a lot of plates spinning. Remember they used to call them Chinese acrobats. They had these plates spinning on sticks, and trying to keep. You got a lot of things going on.
I do, and it's because it's my literal soul mission to bring everybody together here in the community, I love that we're talking right now, but I would love to be face to face.
Well, one day we'll do that. One day we'll do that. So what happens at the drum? That's a lot of thumping going on at a drum festival. I've never heard of such a thing.
It's in the works. So last year we did something called the Awareness Festival, and there was a drum circle there. What happens is they call them the drum keepers. So the people who play the drums will share their instruments, give you a little bit of a lesson, and then we'll play together like in a circle around a fire or however it transpires. It's really cool. So that'll be happening the end of August.
Okay.
There's going to be bands and a DJ. It'll be like a whole kind of music festival with vendors.
Okay, can I ask Brittany, we were just throwing it up on the screen. Is this your band here, Tribe 369?
Yeah, Tribe 369, that's me. That's one of the bands, yeah.
Okay, so...
That's one of the bands.
And you're playing where, at Hernders? Is that this weekend? And what's going on there? I know it's not your event.
Hernders on Saturday. We have a post party. So what the post party is, it's technically like a networking event. So it's a $55 ticket, but you get so much.
Hey, are you getting that? It's the emergency alert at 12:55. It was set for today.
Everybody's phones in here are going off.
Is your phone going off too, Brittany?
Right now.
Oh, mine too.
So while you're there on the screen, I'll just read what this says. This is a test of the Ontario Alert Ready system. Oh, it's just a test.
Yeah, it was just a test. It was scheduled.
Okay. So we won't pay any more attention.
Thank you.
Because I for a second thought it was actually an Amber Alert, but it wasn't. Okay.
Thank you.
Yeah.
So we were just asking what's going on at Hernders.
What is the event? What do you mean? What is a post party? I don't understand what that means.
It's a networking event put on by Pump Marketing and the Our House Agency. It's catered. You get a glass of wine from Hernders, and it's basically like if you're an influencer or if you have a personal business and you'd like to showcase yourself or just hang out with other influencers, kind of just to network. It's going to be, there's live entertainment, there's really yummy food from a lot of different restaurants around the Niagara region.
So it's a great event to go, like if you're an entrepreneur in the region, obviously.
Absolutely. I went last year, and it was so amazing that I'm like, I'm going to sponsor something in the bags. I want to do a workshop, so I'm going to be doing a macrame workshop, and my band is performing.
It's the full Monty.
Now I'm thinking I got to go to this, Lee. You're really making it sound great. I know Angel and some of the people down there, and it's right around the corner from my house.
Yeah, and it's this Saturday.
It's really cool, Kevin. It's really cool. You should come, honestly.
I'm thinking about it myself, and it's this Saturday. Okay.
Yeah, maybe I can get you guys on the guest list. Hold on. I'll see if I can pull some strings.
Well, you let us know. Okay, that is so cool, and it's so nice to meet you. And that's what this program is all about. We're kind of like what you are, is we try to bring people together and have some sort of common experience here in Niagara. And it's always great to meet new people and learn about new businesses and promotions and events and things that are going on that otherwise we might not be able to make everybody aware of. So it's very cool that you're here. And again, what's the easiest way for us to find you? I know you're probably everywhere on social media, but what's the easiest way?
So Township 9 Designs. That's pretty much my handle. Okay. I also have a link tree. So if you need the registration for the Swap and Shop event, it's linktree.com/Township9events.
Okay. Brittany Love. That sounds like a stage name to me.
It is.
Is that a stage name?
It is. My last name is so long.
Okay.
It's so long. My last name is Mastromateo. People call me mashed potatoes.
Okay. We'll go with Brittany Love. How's that?
That sounds great.
All right. Thanks, Brittany, for being here. Lovely to meet you. Love the smile. Love the concept. And good luck with all your events this summer.
Thank you. And yeah, make sure to stop by your local farms. The Promontory Farm is opening this Saturday, the 18th, from 9 to 3. So before you come to Hernders, you can stop by the Promontory for your organic seedlings.
Okay. Will do.
Okay.
Awesome.
Yeah. Thank you so much, guys.
Thank you. I don't know how you keep all this straight in your head with all this stuff that's going on, but
I'm an administrator by trade.
Good on you. Thanks, Brittany.
Thank you so much for your time, guys.
Hey, our
Appreciate
pleasure.
It.
Our pleasure. Thanks. What an interesting young lady. Wow. Busy girl.
Absolutely.
My gosh.
Well, there you see, Lee, is that the Jays are playing a matinee in Baltimore, and it's on right now, and a lot of the screens down here at Fiddler's Poorhouse as the lunch crowd funnels in, so come down and say hi.
The Baltimore Orioles are leading that division. The Jays have been struggling a bit. Bo Bichette, can you hear me?
So, Lee, that actually reminded me of something, that conversation with Brittany about all the vendor fairs.
Yes.
And I wanted to share this. Our daughter, Ayla, she was at a Mother's Day bazaar on Saturday. Mm-hmm. So she loves to craft. She's 10 years old, and, of course, we support her in any of her endeavors. And she approached us some time ago and said, Mom, Dad, I'd really like to go into, like, a market. So this was at the Église Sacré-Cœur in Welland, and there she was. That's my wife in the background, but there's the big tent, and luckily her ma tante Sue had a space, so she was able to portion off some of her space for
her stuff.
A&A products.
A&A products.
Where you can see right there.
Just like your dad, you got a budding entrepreneur there, Kev.
There's my beautiful daughter, Ayla, and these coasters here that she made. So she's into crocheting.
Wow.
So she crocheted those, and see, she priced all of them individually. She had some bracelets in the back.
Oh, God bless her. That's awesome.
This here's a little owl. She sold that one. She sold a lot of her bracelets. Here's a little blanket just to keep your stuffed pig warm.
That is very good.
And there we are, chilling out. I mean, there she is. She also had another great entrepreneurial idea, Lee, is that she put out front. There you go. Here's some people stopping by to buy some of the wares. She put a bowl of candy out there. And as people walk by, they'd ask her if they wanted a free candy. Like, that gets them over and gets them talking to you, and then they see what you have to sell. And that was a great marketing technique for her.
Yeah, good for her.
There you go, some other people. So thanks to every single person that stopped by and supported A&A Products and supported our daughter Ayla in her creative endeavors.
And a proud mom and dad to boot. Absolutely.
There it is.
Good for you, Ayla. Well done.
A&A Products. And Lee, while we're sharing my personal storyline here,
okay.
For Mother's Day, I decided, and I'm quite happy with how it turned out. My wife was asking for some raised planters.
Okay.
Right. So let's see if we can.
What did you do? Did you make something?
I made some.
Oh,
so those are some of the boxes. I made 2 more last night.
Okay.
Oh, gosh, let's see here.
Oh, look at that.
So I found bins that fit in there, and then there is the finished product.
Wow, look at that.
So you see I got 3 separate bins, all kind of hanging from the bottom. We already had these cages because lots of wildlife around there.
I was going to say, the rabbits and...
Yeah, all the stuff's going to get eaten.
Yeah.
So that's the finished product with 3 bins inside. So 3 separate growing areas. And then there you go. I made 2 more frames yesterday. So we're going to have a total of 3 of those, each with 3 bins. So, 9 different growing.
Well, didn't you earn some brownie points there?
I did, Lee. And they came out quite nice, I thought.
And speaking of events gone by, and to give kudos to folks, it was once again the Pelham Art Festival weekend, over the Mother's Day weekend, at the Meridian Community Center on Rice Road. And my wife and I took some time and strolled around there. Boy, there are some fabulously talented artists in our area. Man, it was a great show. So and I mean, it was like $7 a person to get in. It was virtually just a bit of a donation more than anything else. So congratulations once again. It's an annual event we go to just about every year. Missed last year because we were away, but anyway, so kudos to the Pelham Art Festival organizers and all of the people that had many booths there. There was just so much great stuff on display at that place. So
what did you take home with you, Lee?
We took a couple of plants home.
Nice.
We have a situation personally that is kind of, it's enviable and yet not at the same time, is when we moved from the West Coast and came back here, we downsized a little bit. We still have a pretty nice house, but my wife, being a bit of an artist herself, a bit of an artist herself, and she has close friends that give us work, so we buy things. Upshot of it is almost every space of our walls has something on it. We have no more space in our house for anything. We have trinkets and masks and paintings and watercolors and stuff all over the place. So we have to be really careful with what we buy, because when we buy one thing, something's got to go. There's no place to put it. So, but we did a lot of admiring, and we had a lot of conversations with some great people at the Pelham Art Festival this year. So a lot of great events around Niagara. Just terrific people and very, very talented. Again, I want to thank Gales Gas Bars Limited for being our premier sponsor here of Niagara 411 Live with Lee Sterry, fueling Niagara since, well over 50 years, and continuing to be the premier petroleum supplier of all things petroleum in the Niagara region. Thank you very, very much. Our most recent advertiser, Sandra's Home Health Care services. Boy, we're just pleased as punch to have Sandra and Sandra's Home Health Care with us. I heard today when I was listening to a news station, Kevin, that we have something like a shortage of, or could use more than 30,000 personal service workers, personal care workers. The upshot is PSWs or whatever. In Ontario. Not all of Canada, just Ontario. The need is so great. And Sandra's Home Health Care is set apart from a lot of the suppliers of home health care because they match the care worker to the client, medication supervision and monitoring and all of those things, and many others as required, sometimes 24/7 if that is the need. And a lot, compassion meeting care, and they really do fabulous work for their clients. Verge Insurance Group, again, thank you very much for being here. Home, business, car, life insurance, whatever it is required, Verge can supply it. Locally owned and operated as well, located here on Ontario Street in St. Catharines. Ace Alignment on North Street for all things automotive required. It's a small shop, but they have big service at Ace Alignment, North Street, St. Catharines. Janice Purdy and her gang, thank you very much for being here. The head mechanic is Darren Miller. The senior mechanic is Matt Crompton, and these guys know their stuff, believe me. Equal Wellness Services behind that, the driving force, the head banana, if you will, behind Equal Wellness Services is Audrey the Foot Nurse. And foot care is becoming more and more important as well. As our population ages, believe me, your feet take a pounding over the course of any given day, week, month, or year. And they do it all. She knows anything she doesn't know about feet ain't worth knowing. But other services as well. So get to know her. Equal Wellness Services. They're at 365 Vine Street between Scott and Carlton. They're working on a new website, so as soon as that comes out, we'll be able to focus you on that so you can go and do some research online yourself.
This is a huge event. I mean, this is one I think only locals know about. But
yeah, this is quite the thing coming up. A week from tomorrow, May 23rd, 9 a.m., Great Wolf Lodge, Victoria Avenue, Niagara Falls, right at Victoria and the Niagara River Parkway there. Now, it's the Niagara Falls Firefighters Association, as well as the NRPS. They're hosting the annual charity car wash for kids. All the proceeds are directed to Birchway, Niagara, and Julian's house. Okay? The cost, $140 for 4 water park passes, $280 for a one-night stay, including 2 days of water park passes as well. All right? So come on out and get the car washed, have some fun. And kids love Great Wolf Lodge. I've got in there a couple of times, just peek in, and it's like walking into a different world, Kevin. It's just so much fun, so much laughter, and celebration goes on inside that place. Kids
absolutely, and you know what?
Love it.
$280 is significant savings, and I'll tell you,
that's a huge saving.
You get your $280 worth. Of note, the new lineup route. Please follow traffic control. Cash, credit, and debit accepted, but no American Express. First come, first serve. Carpooling encouraged. Limit of 2 overnight vouchers per person. Okay, so you can actually buy more than one.
Buy more than one, yeah.
And here you go. They're valid basically off-season and Sunday through Friday. But hey, thanks so much for that.
Yeah.
Only in Niagara Falls. Overnight stay is based on a family suite for 4.
Marvelous place.
Yeah. So there you go.
Marvelous.
That's coming up. And I know, people start lining up for this thing. Some probably sleep in their cars. Like I'm not even joking.
And this is the season for when events really start to ramp up in Niagara. Now, there's something we were talking about, the rank and run for cancer.
Yeah, I'm going to pull that up here, Lee.
Yeah, there's a bit of a wrinkle this year. The rank and run, I can't remember how many years, but it's many years.
I think they started in 2005, and it grew and grew and grew. And the last big in-person event they had was 2019 then COVID, and it hasn't returned to that, but partially due to police intervention, saying, hey, listen, this event's just getting too big. It was getting massively. Remember, like 15,000 people would show up.
Yes, you become sometimes, as they say, whoever they are, victims of your own success. But in this case, it's actually not a bad thing, because in these days of disassociated events, people can participate in the same event and not even be in the same space, and that's kind of what the whole Rankin run for cancer evolution has turned into. It's something that you can participate and be part of the group and still do great things and raise tons of money, which the Rankin Run has done over the years, but you can do it kind of at your own pace, at your own time, in your own way. So here's kind of how it works. There's a pre-registration event. That's where it starts, and that's this Saturday. Kevin just had it up on the screen there.
It says there, Saturday, May 18th.
Yeah, Saturday, May 18th. So this is where the registered participants, you pick up your 2024 Run T-shirts that you always got at the live in-person event. You can drop off any more donations that you might have collected. Also an opportunity for those who have yet to register in person. All right. And 218 Martindale Road in St. Catharines. What is 218 Martindale Road in St. Catharines, Kevin?
I'm assuming
Give me a landmark.
Probably Annie Pasto's area.
Oh, okay.
Right on Martindale. So south of the QEW on the east side. I mean, here, I can throw it up for you here, Lee. I mean, that's it right there.
Oh, yeah, there we are.
Okay, give you an idea.
Yeah.
And it looks as though, and it might be rebranded, but it's that building right there.
Okay. And that's where the pre-registration event is.
And that's basically right across from Gale's, right? There's Gale's Fast and Fresh Convenience right there.
Yeah.
All right, Annie Pasto's would be back over there. You go across from Domino's.
Right, 10 a.m.
Starbucks.
10 a.m. to 2 p.m. this Saturday. And you can find out all the details right there, rankincancerrun.com. All of the details about how the event is evolving from that event of 2019 when was the last big in-person, on-location run. It'll be a virtual event. As the ad says, it provides participants with a tremendous amount of flexibility to choose the time, the place, and type of event that you want to create for yourself and your friends or whatever. With that in mind, 2024 has been designed to make participation easier than ever. And there's the whole, you'll find this on the rankincancerrun.com. It'll run through the whole process for you, exactly how it's going to work. And again, one of those local events that has become so successful, has grown so large and so successful that it has to kind of morph into another format. And that's basically what has happened with the Rankin Cancer Run.
Yeah, it was so popular. I remember, way back in the day when we were still on talk radio here locally, talking about how it was the single largest annual gathering in Niagara.
Oh, I know.
And it was way bigger. I mean, when you start talking tens of thousands of people, what do you put in Montebello Park on a Rib Fest or a Wine Fest? Maybe 3,000, 4,000?
I was going to say, we have many events. I mean, we've got the wine festivals and all of these things that are happening. Well, we talked about a lot of the events today. But this just transcended everything with the amount of participation, which is wonderful. Kick cancer's butt if we can. But there's where you find out all the bits. So, all right. So, that was that. Hello.
Dave?
Nope.
No, I'm sorry. Sorry, mate.
It could be. I don't know. What's he offering?
Dave's not here, man. Remember remember Cheech and Chong?
Yeah.
Hello? It's me, Dave. No, Dave's not here,
Dave's
man.
Not here.
Yeah, all right. Always nice to have visitors to the program. Whoever you may be.
Yeah. Well, he's just one of the many people down here. This one, Lee, on 411, struck a note with me where this guy, it turns out he's a coach of a local ball hockey team, and he had his vehicle stolen, but it seemed more concerned with all the kids' equipment that was inside.
Yeah, some people just are too rotten to live. You know, like this stuff, somebody will take anything. This is all the stuff that was taken. A Bauer Mach 1 goalie stick, with red tape, black wrapped goalie helmet. Now they put these descriptions up so that you can let people know if you happen to come across any of this equipment, because obviously people steal stuff just so they can resell it. It's not that they wanted to play hockey with it. Black Bauer goalie pads, Warrior block and scoop, also black CCM low profile chest protector. These are in a gray and yellow / orange bag with an orange jersey and a red Hitman jersey with Hennessy and 33 on it. And all kinds of other things. CCM player helmet and player gloves and shin pads and the list goes on. And that's the vehicle that Kevin showed before that was broken into, where this stuff was stored. Now you'll see that that's not obviously where it was broken into because there's snow on it. That's just a picture of the vehicle.
But that door is unique because it's scrapped and it doesn't match. So there's a silver door on a gold truck.
Yeah.
So, I mean, that would make it stand out. So if you see one of those cruising around. Lee, I'm not sure, is there something that, I got something lined up here. Is there something you wanted to make sure we touched on before we wrap the show today?
The only thing that I really wanted to touch base on was the proposal for St. Catharines development at a spot that has been waiting for development for some time. There was a very, very large church property on Scott Street near, well, kind of right at the corner of Scott and Geneva in St. Catharines. The church property was sold, it plans on being developed, etc. Well, St. Catharines City Council voted to alter the zoning for that area to allow the construction of a 523 unit, and I think it's a 3-story development, 523 unit high density. They refer to this as a high density zoning building. In other words, 523 apartments or whatever it is, and it received a fair bit of attention. Obviously, it just wasn't a rubber stamp type approval by the Council of St. Catharines, because there were some councillors who were in opposition to this, but the motion did pass. But that hasn't been the end of the issue. Bittle, the MP for the area, for St. Catharines, actually sent a note to St. Catharines City Council asking that they reconsider their decision. And there's the actual announcement that went up. Council has approved the redevelopment plan for a site in the area of Scott Street in Geneva that includes 2 apartment buildings that will contain a combined total of 521. I had 523, but whatever. 2 townhouse blocks containing 11 units are also part of the plan. The applicant is proposing a parking ratio of 1.5, which will result in 612 parking spaces to serve the 532. I said 523. My dyslexia kicking in. Okay, 532. The numbers vary depending on what report you read. Now, there are those that, of course, don't want any change in their neighborhoods, and I guess all of us fall into that category from time to time, depending on what that change is. But there's what they call the NIMBY scenario, not in my backyard, and a lot of people fall into the category of not wanting a development of this type to be in an area like Scott and Geneva, where this big property is. Myself, I think it's a perfect kind of development for that area. You've got a number of units for families, considering the number of comments and the number of stories and debates that there are about housing in our community, in our province, and across the country. Housing, affordable housing. I don't know whether this falls into that category, whether we would label it affordable housing, but it has to be affordable for some people. Lack of housing in particular, lack of housing availability, is a big deal. It seems to me that in a central location like this, you're not far from transit, you're not far from shopping, you're not far from anything really that you might need as a single, a couple, or a family than this location. I don't get why there are some people, including Chris Biddle, who say it's inappropriate. I think it's highly appropriate. Agree or disagree is fine, and you've got your own perspective on these things, but it's better than it just sitting there with an old church building on it that nobody's doing anything with, and it's creating, there's that word again, housing. I don't see the problem. I really, now, there are residences in the area, there are single dwelling houses around there, etc., that are used to nothing happening there, nothing being there, and is it going to increase traffic? Oh, you betcha. But they apparently have the proper number of parking spaces, and
the roads are designed to handle that traffic.
Supposedly, yeah. So I just wanted to mention that because it just seems, no matter what people are trying to do to further evolve what we really need to support our society, there's always somebody saying, no, don't change it. No. Well, what else are you going to put there? A car wash? Like what? No. Anyway, that was I just thought it was a perfect solution for a number of reasons.
It does look like appropriate development in an appropriate spot.
That's what I thought.
Lee, I'll just leave with this. This was in the mentioned section of Niagara 411, and it's interesting because we talked about this probably a month ago now, about these baggies with racial messages.
Yes, I'm glad you brought this up. I was thinking about that earlier in the week, and then it just popped right out of my mind.
So somebody else put in the mentions, and I actually saw an NRP response acknowledging that, yes, we've received multiple reports of this. I think, I don't want to say you heard it here first, but I think we were the first people to report on this actually happening.
Was this not also including like anti-Semitic propaganda? That's
very much so.
That's what these baggies had.
Everything on your TV is anti-white.
Yeah.
Like, what is this?
Yeah, so it's like a supremacist type group, but more in the direction of being anti-Semitic.
Yeah, it's terrible.
And when you put that in line, in conjunction with all of the things that we're hearing about on university campuses across North America, it's disturbing. Very disturbing that there is so much unrest and hate-fueled activities in our communities. It's a bit of a downer, frankly, but we're going to get lifted back up. We have My Son the Hurricane coming up to play us off the stage with a new video that they've released called Oleander. Jacob Bergsma and we used to call him Mr. Downtown, I think, in the old days. A real booster of Niagara and St. Catharines in particular. And his group, My Son the Hurricane, they are an eclectic gathering of musicians and concerts all over the continent, and sometimes even off the continent. They're coming up with that video called Oleander.
I will say, Lee, that it's only just a sneak preview of Oleander, so our musical guest only about 1 minute today of My Son the Hurricane.
Okay, so this is a teaser.
Yeah, it's a teaser towards the real video, but it looks like it's all caught live footage, live sound.
All right, and that's coming up in just a couple of minutes. Kevin, while we have a couple of minutes left here on Ye Old Programming, what's going on with WeeStream these days? Ladies and gentlemen, Kevin Jack is the co-founder, along with Brandon Scram, of Canada's premier streaming service. And Kevin, what's going on?
What's going on? We're kind of slowing down heading into the summer. Generally, business slows down, and also by design, because both Brandon and I have young families, and we like to spend a lot of the summer months and summertime with the families. So other than that, special events, not much. Got a couple of irons in the fire. Still doing a lot of council meetings around the region. And special events. But if you have any needs, if you think that there's something, rubbing my hands together, we might be working with Niagara Health to help spread their word across Niagara. So, there's lots of stuff that we're working on, but nothing concrete that I can really say I'll look forward to, unless for whatever reason you're such a municipal politics geek that you want to watch me stream next week's council meeting in Niagara Falls. I mean, if that's really what does it for you, then I'll see you online.
All right. And all of these shows, by the way, Niagara 411 Live with Lee Sterry, all of these programs are archived on WeeStream's YouTube page. So if you want to see any past program from right back from the very beginning, from season 1 and even back before we called them seasons. We didn't even know there would be a second season when we started doing this thing as a live stream Niagara back in the day, but they're all there on the WeeStream YouTube channel. Just go to YouTube, click on WeeStream, and all the stuff they do is there, and these programs archived forever. And that's something that anybody that's been on the program as a guest or had been interviewed, if you're looking for yourself or you want to save an interview from somewhere, they're all there. Everything is available. Again, thank you to Nick at Niagara 411 for your partnership, and all of you people that contribute to Niagara 411 to keep us all connected. Thank you very much. Everybody doesn't always agree, and that's what makes the world go round. But the fact that you participate is the big thing. Gales Gas Bars, Sandra's Home Healthcare, Virgin Insurance, ACE Alignment, and Equal Wellness Services. Thank you for supporting the program. Kevin Neufeld at Beau Chapeau on Queen Street in Niagara-on-the-Lake going to come in and see I need a summer hat. So we'll add to the collection sometime in the next couple of weeks. You mentioned Niagara Health. Before we go to My Son the Hurricane, we don't have time to name them all, but one of the unsung groups over and over and over again are our healthcare support staff, i.e. nurses, and there were 30 of them recognized with awards of excellence, recognized by Niagara Health Service in the region last night at a ceremony. So to the 30 nurses here in Niagara that were centered out for awards, congratulations and thank you for your service. It's never perfect, our healthcare system, but we value the people in it here in our area very, very highly. Thanks for being here. My name, as you guessed it by now, is Lee Sterry, and we're going to go to My Son the Hurricane with a teaser trailer for their video called Oleander. You folks have yourself a great week and a nice long Victoria Day weekend. Hopefully the weather holds out for whatever plans you have, and we'll see you in a couple weeks. Have a good one.
Cucumber, and they're gonna be like, damn, that looks pretty fresh and organic. When in fact it's even better.